My bad, my mic is off. Yo, real quick, welcome. Yo, I just want to check this out, man. Looking at this last night. I didn't really get to like really dig in. So I was like, yo, you know what? I got a little bit of time. Let me watch this with y'all real quick. Let me know what y'all think. This is something I'm gonna be trying to from time to time. I'll just either go into a podcast and go check it out with y'all, or all kinds of different stuff that I'm kind of into, stuff that you guys that may be into and y'all want to put me on about too. So we'll watch some shit, some stuff together. Part of my French. I believe right now we are on YouTube and we are on TikTok. Shout out to everybody on TikTok. That's actually a new area that we're just having some fun with, man. Shout out to everybody on there. Love been very real this past 7 days, man. Very interesting set of days. But yeah, we here. So let me get this going. From time to time, I might slide. From time to time, I might slide off. So
hey guys, real quick, there is a reason On the Case is one of the top shows on YouTube. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's.
We're gonna skip all that.
Unlike other team management apps, when it comes to time theft, Connect Team's all about.
Yeah, okay. Start next week, we're going to use the premium app. We're going to go back to premium, so you won't see any ads. So just bear with me, all right, y'all? You won't see any ads come next week when we do this. All right, let me get my volume up.
Different kind of plea than we had seen previously in this case.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
So that statement, as you just heard there, it's very different from the messaging that we have seen from the Guthrie family on social media over the past week.
This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
So until now, each one of the family's messages appeared to be directed at someone who was allegedly holding their mom. But now the family is appealing to the general public for help. And that new message really raises the question of whether those alleged ransom notes that we've all been trying to dissect for the past week, the ones sent to TMZ and local television stations in Tucson, were those ransom notes ever legit? According to K-Gun TV in Tucson, a television station that says it received an alleged ransom note, it says that the note demanded $6 million to be sent through Bitcoin by 5 p.m. local time, Tucson time, on Monday night. Now, the Bitcoin part of it is very interesting because TMZ said that they authenticated that there was a Bitcoin wallet that was connected to the note that they received. And I'm not someone who will tell you I'm a crypto expert or someone who understands Bitcoin, but you can see a Bitcoin wallet and you can see if money has been put into it. And as TMZ has been continuing to watch that wallet, money has not been put into it. Now, TMZ is also revealing some new information that we had not heard yet related to these alleged ransom notes. They had said that the FBI had contacted them and told them to not release certain details. But one new piece of information we've learned about the ransom note is that it said that if the money was given, this alleged ransom money in the Bitcoin, that
Hey, Yaya, what up? Yaya, what's good? Yo, good to see you, man. Yo, I hope you've been I hope the new year's been great for you. I hope everything's been going great. Yo, I've been trying to hold on, what just happened here? Show what am I showing? I don't know what I just showed. All right, so yo, I had a little problem with my account. I don't know if I was probably, you remember I was going live, I was streaming, right? I had went on to I had went on I think I was streaming. I probably had some music in the background, and I did catch a copyright strike. I made a post. I don't think I was supposed to. I was still trying to, figure out my way on here as far as like content, what type of content. You see how I finally got it set up here where, um, we could watch stuff together. You know what I'm saying? And you see the chatters on the screen. I'm just tweaking, and to be honest, I'm finally kind of catching my rhythm. I'm finally catching my rhythm up. But welcome back. Welcome back. The channel is still active. Check out some of the content we've been dropping. My bop. I love the fitness. I love to cook. I love fashion. I love music, all kinds of music, primarily hip hop and R&B, even some Caribbean music. Big into fitness content, really big on health. Um, I'm in a great space by the grace of God. It's been a tough year for all of us, but we've been trying to just push through. And Yaya, I'm glad to have you back. You know what I'm saying? Let's make sure we stay locked in. Let's stay locked in. Oh man. So I don't know if I was like, and then I had something else that I had to do because I had got an email from YouTube and it was saying, yo, you got your what it was saying? It's just some weirdness like some of my features been disabled. So I was noticing when I go on stream, I went from sometimes having 2,000 people on here to like 3 people, which is cool with me, but it was kind of weird, especially with the trajectory. But either way, the moderators are still on deck. I still chop it up with some of the moderators. I was actually just on Liz's stream. She was like one of my moderators when I first got started, and she hit the ground running. She actually, she's over, I think what she's at, over 2,000 followers. She just started streaming in like November, like late November, early December, but she's been real consistent. And that's one thing I've been noticing about this is like, all right, how you be consistent. I don't know. I noticed that streaming late night is kind of better. Late night, early morning, it's just a whole different kind of audience. I guess that's when people is just kind of just, doing a little 1-2 thing. And yeah, it's just, hold on. Oh shit. Pardon my French. Yeah, so it's just been, just learning. And shout to my man Kid D. He's over in South Africa. He started his streaming journey. He's almost at 1,000 followers. I check up on them from time to time. So I'll be up on here. The community we still here. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out the best times to come on here. We're gonna do some different stuff. Okay, I see what this is. Oh, now I see what this is. Yo, not for nothing. I never really knew that TikTok was. I know I'm on YouTube, but I never knew that this shit had all of this shit. Like I was not versed in that. Hold on a second. Oh, that's my blood. And why did my laptop just? I don't like that. I don't like that. Yo, Chef Indy was good. Where? Kote wap gade m la monshe. Oh oh. Ki sa wap pale la? Oh. Oh. Just cooling, man. Just cooling. Yo, you know what's crazy? Yo, You know what's bug? Cause you remember we was talking about, yo, let's go on live. I know you wasn't feeling well, but I remember you was like, yo, let's go on live and cook or whatnot. And I ended up, what day was, I told you I ended up with Bird Chest on the phone, um, on there. But yo, dog, I didn't realize TikTok had all this shit. I didn't even know. I didn't even like, so like I'm just trying out something right now. I'm on YouTube and I just connected it to the TikTok, and I don't know if it might be streaming on Twitter too. So I'm just feeling my way around, and yeah, 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 absolutely, absolutely. You know, I remember I had told you. I don't know if you remember. I might be down there at the end of the month. I'm still I'm still trying to figure that out. So maybe from there we could yeah, we could definitely do something while I'm there if I do come down, or anyhow you here, or we could always do stuff remotely because you know with technology now. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. Streaming, you know, I mean, you got the personality. That's that's what I'm waiting on. I need a gimbal right now. I need a gimbal. But I need one too, man. You taught me the blueprint of cooking and speaking at the same time. I remember we used to do this on Facebook. Like 100, goddamn. I seen some shit on TikTok where you could buy products and yo, you could refund it and you could just try it out. I'm like, oh shit, I bought another magnet, some stuff that I use in the gym. Yeah, and I get some content out of it. So I'm looking at that. I just got approved recently. I just got it. Like I didn't know this. It's like my page and my feed looks totally different from before. It was just mad plain. I got the studio set up in here. Like I'm looking at analytics. It's just kind of ill. Like how it's and then yeah, absolutely, man. You know that's it's all good. You know what? You just got to jump in the fire. That's all it is, man. It's like it's never a good time. Like I got one of my partners. I ain't gonna say his name. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being patient, but I know he got a lot going on. I got a lot going on, and I'm like, yo, let's do this shit, nigga. We got the experience already. It's we don't got to do nothing too crazy. All we got to do is be consistent. We got to be consistent. We could generate some revenue from not only that, we can inspire people. We could, you know, teach people about fitness, nutrition. And my whole thing is like when I cook, I'd be like, look, you know, we come from a Caribbean background, a West Indian background, or whatnot. We all kind of encouraged to overeat. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, we don't understand that a lot of the foods that we do eat, that we do overeat, are heavily processed foods, which causes you to overeat. They design that specific way or whatnot. So I just try to be some more informative, and I just try to let people know, hey, look, you can eat healthy and still eat whatever the hell you want. Because when people think nutrition and diet, they think, oh man, it's restrictive. I gotta cut out the rice. I gotta cut out yes, and then you can still have them. Yeah, and then on another thing too, my whole thing is trying to let people know, you know, let's try to switch out what we've been taught, and which is kind of hard, and it takes practice and it takes time. That yeah, and you know, sometimes we can't just eat just for taste because that's what we like. You know, let's try to be more mindful of what we put into our bodies. But I just made a burger. I had a craving for a burger. I just made it. Uh, some so I love KFC. I barely go there. We my boy ordered some for the Super Bowl. Yeah, you, yeah, you see, chef. You see, chef. This is what we should be talking about right now. We But not and this bug too. Time management is another thing. And like how you said, I really wish people could hear what we're speaking about. But because it's great dialogue. It's not only that. It's just it does take time depending on what you're making. Obviously, certain things is gonna be time, but
type of situation. Prepare yourself, like I told you. Put this meat in there for like 3 days before you cook it. You know, if it's on the menu for your week, think about putting it up as seasoning it up until that day comes. You get me?
Yep. And then I agree with you. And it's just different ways to approach it. You know, sometimes I do the old method, like how when we started, well, when you started cooking here and teaching me how to cook, when we go to Green Acres, I'll pick up something the same day. I'll just have it in the fridge and I'll season it maybe an hour or two before I make it. You know what I'm saying? So, because it all depends on your time and your flow.
And even that is good too, because different people, in 2 hours, you can take a shower.
Yeah.
You can smoke your blunt. You can make your calls. Your food is seasoning. As long as you fucking make that your priority once you walk into the door from your day, whatever.
Yeah.
You can go take care of what you got to take care of when it's time for this. And you cut your time. Even that cuts your time drastically.
Absolutely. And I looked at that, and then not only that, I look at that and I'll be like, yo, I try to prepare the food like a restaurant. Like I put myself on the clock. And I try to keep a clean kitchen. So I'm cooking and cleaning at the same time. So that way, when I'm done, ain't nothing really left to do but eat. There's no burden like, yo, I got to wash all these dishes. And then by the time I'm washing and I'm moving around and getting stuff together, obviously, you know, I'm going to try to get the plating. By the time I do all that, the food is done.
There you go. So it's teaching people the kitchen schematics at home. Bringing the restaurant kitchen movement, the workflow at home. So that makes your dinner time happen quicker. You get to relax and you get to spend time with your family faster.
Yep.
All in one step.
Yep, absolutely. And then another thing too, Chef, is you see how you just explained that about the kitchen? I'm kind of like the same way in the gym. I try to teach not only my clients, the people I train with, just my loved ones that's on their fitness journey. A lot of the times, less is more. We taught like we taught the wrong way. Like we didn't learn this stuff in gym. In gym, I think we should have been able to like learn about our anatomy. We should have really been learning about nutrition. We should have been learning about
what does your body react to more. What is it? What does it accept? What does it not accept?
And we should have been
saying like you should see those things.
Okay, you about to start dinner in a minute. That's what's up, Yaya. Yo, let me know what you cooking, Yaya. I was cooking earlier, Yaya. I was cooking a burger. But yeah, my bad. Sorry to digress. I try to tell people like, yo, less is more. So even when I go into the gym, people be like, yo, Slim, how you look like that? How long you been working out? Yo, how long do you work out? I be like, yo, my workouts be 15, 20 minutes at most. They like, yo, do you do cardio? I be like, no, my cardio is walking. From time to time, I would do some endurance kind of stuff, like maybe a light jog or ride my bike. But
I'm gonna say, what happened to the bike riding? Because you was really focused on that work.
As a matter of fact, yeah, because I had hurt my hip in 2022, and I was down for a second, and then it's just been up and down. But now my hip is better actually, and then a part of it, I think I might have been over riding the bike too much, then overtraining, not realizing that, and I was man down for a while, so I kind of changed my approach in the gym. Like I don't want to do anything that I'm gonna get hurt, and I understand the stronger I get, the more work I'm gonna want to do. I'm gonna want to go heavier. I'm gonna want to do more sets. I want to do I would want to do 5 sets. Sometimes the most sets I do in a workout is 2. Sometimes I just come in, I do one big. I probably do 4 or 5 exercises, and it's only 1 set. But it's going to be a high intensity. When I say that, it's not going to be high reps. I'm going to aim for 5 to 7. But if I could cross 10 at a very heavy weight, let's say my max is 100, and I'm going to work out with 90.
So look,
yeah.
Know what you need to do? I need you to do something. So focus on making a shake. However you want to do it, but I want you to throw these 3 ingredients inside of your shake, your smoothie, or whatever, if you make one.
Yeah.
But throw in avocado, okay?
Okay.
A whole avocado should go in there. Aloe vera, fresh. Okay, aloe vera and elderberry.
Okay. What was that going to do?
That is going to flush out systems, clean up your blood flow. It's going to help move your blood flow between the bottom of your feet to the top of your head.
Okay.
It's going to help lubricate your joints and your system, so that way, like you said, sometimes it could be a little rusty sometimes, but now you'll be able to, with the fact that you're moving around, the aloe vera is going to help lubricate those joints.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but here's the flip side. I've been actually good with my strength training. I do squats. I do barbell squats. That's it.
Watch how drastically when you throw those in there. Even and the elderberry is going to be the antioxidants you need. So kind of give you that efficiency and clearness. You can sustain the energy that you have.
Right. So yeah, man. Yo, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Good looking for that tip. I'm gonna definitely use it, man.
Try it out just one time and see what happens. Try it out for a week and just kind of take a monitor. What I like to usually do even here in this house is like I take blood pressure, I take all these little stat points, and it gives me a really good concise view of what my body is doing and reacting at certain times of the day.
You know that's what's up. That's what's up. To be honest, in full transparency, I just try to get all my nutrients from whole foods, fruits and vegetables, and water.
Don't get food by Whole Foods. Okay?
No. When I didn't say Whole Foods as the supermarket, just Whole Foods, single ingredient foods. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the actual place, huh?
That being said, though, try to make it a habit to go to farmers markets and even Amish markets.
I don't know if there's Amish markets out here, but we definitely do hit the farmers market from time to time.
Try to find an Amish market. Those motherfuckers got the best fruits, vegetables, everything is you won't eat no fresher than that if you go out to get some stuff.
Okay. And another thing too, I try to keep my whole I try to keep it simple as possible. Like I don't even count calories or none of that. If somebody does that, that's off. I just want to keep it simple so it's not overbearing. So I don't feel like I'm missing a step. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be smooth as possible. So I just
Let me ask you a question. So how invested are you into being a personal trainer?
Oh man, I got some stuff that I can't speak about. You know what I'm saying right now on the live, but yeah, I'm working on it, and I'm working with some great people. I'm heading in the right direction. I'm getting some certifications done. Yeah, just to have. But you know, once you have the information, you know the information. Ironically, I was speaking to a recruiter, and when he was like, "Yo, where you at in your fitness journey?" and I broke it down, he was like, "Man, this is gonna be easy for you. You kind of know everything already. It's just some key terms, and it's real simple, dog. It's building strength. I try to tell people. They be like, "Yo, I want my arms, I want my back, I want a tone, I want my butt, I want my legs." I said, "Look, whatever you want, whatever goal it is that you want, you got to get stronger, and the way you do that is sometimes you got to progressively overload, and you got to build muscle. Like I train female clients all the time, and they lift weights. Believe it or not, some of them lift heavier weights than men. No disrespect. But here's the deal though, because when you lift in weights and you put your body, because your body adapts to what you put it through. So if you lifting something heavy, what it's telling your body sends a signal to get stronger and prepare itself for the next time you do that. So people think, yo, when you lift weights, the first thing you do is get bulky. Nope. Even if you're big, the first thing that happens is you lose weight. Because what happens is once you start to build muscle, there's no room for the fat. There's no room for it. So yeah, there you go. Because when you're not active, guess what happens? Your body pares down. It gets energy from your muscles, and guess what it puts there? Fat. What you do is flip it, and then hold on, and I do certain big movements, big compound movements like an incline press, maybe a bench press, a deadlift, a squat in a row, and that's it. And what that does is it fires up my central nervous system. Central nervous system, your CNS. Think of that as like an amplifier, and your body's a speaker. So when you do this and you send that signal to your body, guess what it does? It tweaks. It tells your body to summon force. You release natural hormones that we used to have when we was younger. That's why when we was younger, it was easy to get ripped and get fit because our hormones is different. So what you're pretty much doing is you signaling your body to adapt and you're releasing hormones. And then on top of that,
let me give you a scenario.
Yeah.
So to piggyback off what you said a couple of things that stuck with me, right?
Yeah.
So let's go off of the amplifier first, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, like you said, the amplifier right there, you need that kind of boost the system, right?
Yeah.
Now, can you agree that not everybody's amplifier is on the same wattage?
Yeah, but I'm not. Here's the thing.
I'm just giving you answers to questions.
Nobody's at the same place.
Because you can't. One person's trajectory towards their health is not going to match somebody else's, right?
Yeah, but
it can't be the same routine for the same result.
It could be the same. You could do the same thing, no matter where you're at.
Same thing, but it would have to be in different measures, different reps. It would not be the same exact thing.
It could, for the most part, is pretty basic. Naturally, well, the first thing I do is I assess the client that I'm dealing with. I need to see not only what they're eating. I need to, for one, let me know how you eating for the day. Hold on. So what would you eat for the day? Then I'm gonna physically do a couple things with you to see your endurance, see your balance, see your strength. But here's the deal: you don't have to start that. This is misconception. You don't have to go in there and do a whole bunch of shit. You don't have to go in there and lift the heaviest. You just got to do the right moves with the right intensity, and then that's it. The other stuff, because primarily what you're doing with those big moves, that's what I was about to get you, is once you do those big moves, you fire up your pardon my French, you fire up your metabolism. Your metabolism is what burns the fat and the calories. It's your metabolism. Just like you see when you're on the treadmill, and then you see the calories and the time and the distance, you see the calories burning, right? When you get off that treadmill, that calorie burning process stops right there. But you see, when you lift weights and you lift resistance bands, whatever, you do some kind of strength training and getting stronger, you fire up your metabolism up to 48 hours. You're still burning. Hold on. You're still burning calories at rest, right? So that means you could be sitting down watching TV. You could be standing around cooking. You could be on the bed. You're burning more calories at rest. Now, and here's another thing. Now the fire is lit. You know how you keep that fire going? Protein. Just your body. Hold on. You're going right towards the protein literally is like throwing fire in the wood in the fire, gas on the fire, or coal in the fire. It's gonna keep that metabolism fired up. And then on top of that, hold on. So even hold on. Let me cook real quick. Let me cook. I mean, the floor's gonna be yours, right?
Okay.
Once that metabolism, now the metabolism is still burning. You're gonna burn even. Hold on. You're gonna burn even more calories. Your body's gonna burn more calories and fat, breaking down the protein. So what you just turned on your body to do was to be a furnace to keep burning calories when you're not moving. So most people think they gotta run on the treadmill and run up the hill and do all this goofy shit, and it's not sustainable. That's why most people quit. And here's another thing I tell my clients: hey, we don't gotta work out every day. You can work out every other day, just as long as 2 to 3 times, because you need your body to adapt. Because the magic doesn't happen in the gym. You break down the muscles; it sends the signal to your body. But the magic happens when you sleep.
I agree with everything you just said right now. The one thing I'm trying to point out to you that is just as important, if not the priority, is that what's one thing that you be
Water. So that's why you can see the TV, you see a video in the background, you can see the chat. Yo, my bad, y'all. That's my dog, Chef Indeed, man. He's the one that kind of helped me a lot as far as, cooking and stuff like that. He actually wanted to do a show before, and had a lot going on. I just lost my boy, and I kind of I just couldn't do it. So he just hit me up, man. So he's a real cool dude, man. Hopefully, we'll get to do some cool stuff together, man. He's real dope. Okay, how do I send the invite? Hello? Huh?
I see you, Nicole. I'm trying to join the live.
Damn. Hold on. I gotta send you a link. You moving too fast, Grasshopper. I turn around, you gone. I gotta keep it moving in a second. I didn't start my thing that I'm doing. Like, I'm doing this new thing too where sometimes I'm a streamer podcast. I'm gonna watch all kind of different stuff, cooking stuff, fitness stuff, crime stuff, music stuff. Just all kinds of stuff. It's just all kinds of stuff. Hold on a second. So let me get this link. Ironically, I want to test this out with Blue Steel earlier, but he's been tied up all day. Oh shoot! And I gotta dip just now to go get. I gotta make a move just now. Hold on. Let me know. Okay, no, that's not it.
Okay.
What's it? 4:38.
You see my text? You see it?
No, I don't see your text. Hold on.
I'm on TikTok. I'm on your TikTok.
You on TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I could bring you up here. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I gotta send you a link. Hold on. I'm gonna send you a different link. You're gonna see it just now. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Ah, shoot. Yo, sorry about that. All right, so I'm gonna put this video back on.
Nancy Guthrie would be returned within 12 hours. And we have also, at the time of this recording, passed that
Let's keep
deadline
rocking out.
from
Please
when
be graceful
if the money was deposited right at the deadline of Monday at 5 p.m. Tucson time. We have certainly passed the 12 hours after that for when whoever sent that note said that Nancy Guthrie would be returned. And when you think of 12 hours, TMZ did point out as well that if someone's driving the speed limit, the radius of where you could get in 12 hours is states away, certainly across the U.S.-Mexico border as well, but states away from Tucson. You could get as far away as California or Colorado. The FBI is offering $50,000 in reward money for information to find Nancy Guthrie and whoever took her. And this is the billboard that the FBI has put together. It is a billboard that is up in several cities, especially in the Southwest: Houston, El Paso, San Diego, Los Angeles, San Antonio, Dallas, and Albuquerque, New Mexico, just to name a few. So now I want to talk about the alleged DNA samples that we mentioned at the top, because one big question from the start of this case has been who else had regular access to Nancy Guthrie's home. This is a woman, she's 84 years old. She reportedly lived alone, but the health concerns that she had, that's a big part of this story. You remember the sheriff saying that she was sharp mentally, but physically she couldn't walk 50 yards by herself. We also know that her daughter Annie lives roughly 4 miles from her house with her husband, and their house was searched over the weekend in what's being described as a consensual search. That's opposed to a situation where law enforcement has to roll up with a search warrant to get access to the house. Fox News Digital is now reporting that Nancy's hired help are submitting DNA samples. That includes her gardener and pool cleaner. The outlet says that this could mean that more DNA results have come back from evidence that was gathered at the scene. Now, the FBI and the Sheriff's Department, they haven't gone into further details about what evidence they found inside of Nancy Guthrie's house or Annie Guthrie's house that could really matter in this investigation. They also have not confirmed the details of that Fox News Digital report that they are taking DNA samples from those who had worked at Nancy Guthrie's house. Now, you remember this video that was shot by News Nation of blood that was found on Nancy Guthrie's front porch. The Pima County Sheriff says that they expedited the process of getting that tested, and it came back to Nancy Guthrie. Now, the timeline the sheriff laid out about when Nancy Guthrie went to her daughter's house that Saturday night, when she got home, and what happened in the early hours of the morning, it's very important. And I think it's important that we reiterate it, because she goes to Annie Guthrie's house at 5:45. Apparently it was a great night of dinner and games. She Ubered to her daughter's house, but then a family member drove her home around 9:45. And they know that based off when the garage door opened and closed at Nancy's house. It is interesting that the sheriff won't specifically say which member of Annie's family. Was it her? Was it her husband who drove Nancy Guthrie home? The sheriff won't say that outright, but this is what he says they believe happened, at least from some of the digital evidence that they collected in the early hours of the morning, February 1st.
Sunday morning, early morning at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. They had no subscription, and therefore it would rewrite itself. It just kind of loops, right, and covers up. That's what our analysis teams have told us. We're not done with that. We'll do all we can, but that's what it says. So it detects a person on camera. Could that be an animal? I imagine that's possible. We don't know that. We just have no video. But we're not giving up on that. 228. Nancy's pacemaker app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone.
Now, beyond Nancy's house and her daughter's house, law enforcement also paid a visit to a Circle K gas station that's about 10 minutes of a drive from Nancy's home. And they have told media outlets that they took surveillance footage from that Circle K. It's unclear what the footage shows, but reportedly it was related to a potential vehicle of interest, and it is unclear if that video netted anything of value to this case. The gas station is located between Nancy's home and Annie's home. Now, law enforcement has said that they are following up on new leads, and we can expect to see members of law enforcement continue to have a presence at Annie Guthrie's house and Nancy Guthrie's house. We've also seen law enforcement search a septic tank or perhaps a drainage pipe on Nancy's property. There is obviously, with that new video from Savannah Guthrie, this question of what does law enforcement really know at this point?
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many, from passion projects to enterprise-grade systems, everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality right now.
Are they at a standstill? President Trump over the weekend, he weighed in on this. He knows Savannah Guthrie because she covered him as she has been the host of the Today Show, and he's pledged his support, and a lot of resources from the federal government are going into this search. But he did say something to reporters on Air Force One over the weekend that gave you some hope that we were getting closer to a resolution, saying, quote, we could have some answers coming up very soon. Once again, I want you to get a good look at these images released by the Pima County Sheriff of this masked, armed person at Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning that she disappeared. If you have any information on where Nancy Guthrie may be, you can contact the Pima County Sheriff's Department in Arizona or the FBI. For Pima County, I want to put this number up once again, 520-351-4900. Then for the FBI, the number there, 1-800-CALL-FBI. You can also go to tips.fbi.gov. I spoke with former FBI and CIA agent Tracy Walder just before these images were released by law enforcement. Join us now to talk more about this case is Tracy Walder, former FBI agent and former CIA agent. Great to have you here on Law and Crime, as always. When you look at the new video that was put out on Monday by Savannah Guthrie, I mean, certainly she's now not speaking directly to whoever may have taken her mom, but it also seemed like the way she was talking was different. It felt more like the Savannah Guthrie almost we see on the Today Show, as opposed to, and understandably so, just how distraught she's looked before that. What stood out to you in that video that she put out on Monday?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, Chris. I think exactly what you just said, right? The fact that it was someone who, in my opinion, just picked up their phone, made a video, and uploaded it to their Instagram account. It was not as contrived and scripted and rehearsed, right, as the other 3 videos. I don't believe that the FBI, helped her craft whatever video that was. She may have actually asked them, will this compromise the investigation if I upload it? Because I think she is being that careful and diligent right now. But no, I think that this was just a video of her talking from her heart completely on her own.
And then when you look at the video as well, and to go from the messaging of we will pay and speaking to whoever took her mom to then making an appeal to the public, what does that tell you about these alleged ransom notes that we had been hearing so much about that were sent to the local television stations and TMZ?
Listen, I think we have to remember that the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department never said that they were able to authenticate these ransom notes, but they were not able to dismiss them as fraudulent. And so until you can completely dismiss something as fraudulent, you have to take it seriously. That is just proper procedure. And so that's why I believe that they were making those videos. I don't think it was some ploy or anything like that. I think everything is real until it can be disproved, just like everyone's a suspect until they can be eliminated. And so I think either a couple of things happened. I think either they were able to figure out the authenticity or lack of authenticity of the ransom notes, or this was a plea by Savannah before that deadline approached for anyone to hand over any information before some kind of ransom was handed over.
And one question I've had is with these alleged ransom notes that were sent to the media outlets, how difficult is it to, if you were to send a letter from somewhere to maybe a local TV station, like in this case, how difficult is it to hide from the FBI where that actually was being sent from?
So the answer to that is, I know this is going to frustrate y'all, but it depends, right?
Yeah.
There is no question this person, whether real or not, right? Like whether real intended or not, used a burner email. Like there's no question in my mind. There's no question this person encrypted it. There is no question they used a VPN, right? Like all 3 of those things definitely happen. Otherwise, the FBI, you can look up someone's real IP address in a matter of minutes, right? There's no question all of those things were used. And so if this person used military grade encryption, I mean, you could be looking at months, right, to figure that out, even if you are the NSA or some. It's just, I think the movies makes it seem like we can figure it out like that. And that's just not always the case. And so I think it probably took some time.
And then one other thing that stood out to me, because I'm not an expert on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and any of that. And then it's explained to me that you can see the wallet where, and I know TMZ says that they've been watching this wallet that was apparently linked to these alleged ransom notes. And I found that fascinating, just that, everybody could see if the ransom was going to be paid, if that was actually true. I mean, how common, knowing that people can follow certain things with Bitcoin, is it that if this was real, that's the type of currency that in 2026, someone who would do something like this would go to?
I would have expected them to use Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is used a lot of times for money laundering. And if you can do what's called change mixing and make it difficult, it is going to be incredibly hard to trace where that money is going to on the back end. And so if this is real and if this person knows what they're doing from a technological standpoint, I'm not surprised that they asked for Bitcoin.
The AI Toolkit is live on Artlist. Every leading AI tool you need for video creation is now organized for you.
Can you teach me?
All that's missing is your story. Get all the latest image, video, and voiceover models in one clean experience so you can focus on what really matters, telling your story. Go to Artlist and start creating without limits.
And turning now to some of the, now that it's more of this, at least from Savannah Guthrie's side of it, this appeal to the public, and we keep hearing from the Pima County Sheriff that they don't have suspects, they don't have a person of interest, but we have seen in investigations that they're working a lot of things behind the scene that they just don't want out in the public at that point. And I know that we can only speculate on what's really going on, but what do you make of that messaging at this point? I mean, how likely is it now in the 10th day since Nancy Guthrie went missing that we really are in this place where law enforcement's just trying to find that angle that might lead them in the direction of Nancy Guthrie?
I think it's always a possibility, but I think what we need to remember is, yes, obviously they have been investigating this ransom angle. There's no question that they've been doing that. But just because they've been investigating that angle doesn't mean all angles have sort of fallen to the wayside. They're assigning different agents and different law enforcement officers to be working different things. So all of these different angles are being explored simultaneously. I think we've just been giving a lot of attention, and rightly so, to the ransom angle. But I think they've already been exploring all of these and have been doing so really since the get-go.
And the most recent statement from the FBI was that they were unaware of any sort of communication the Guthrie family was having with any sort of alleged kidnapper out there. What does communication in a case like this actually look like from the FBI and law enforcement with the family who's going through this and they're looking for their loved one, but you're also looking and trying to understand exactly what happened and potentially look at everybody? Like, what type of communication might the Guthries be having with the FBI on a daily basis?
I mean, phone communication, text communication, personal visits, which, you know, we have seen those play out. I think they're in constant contact with them. There's no question, especially because this is an ongoing situation. Now, are they updating them, you know, every hour of every day? Probably not. But I do think that if the family wants an update, they will give them one. But I also think the FBI has probably, as well as local law enforcement, has probably set times during the day that they will update them as well.
And then when it comes to, and I know at like a news conference, they want to show a united front with the local sheriff's office. What is, and the statement would probably be that everybody's working hand in hand trying to get, you know, Nancy Guthrie brought back safely. But like, what does that collaboration actually look like? Is it the FBI and the sheriff on like a morning meeting every day? Like, what is like the sharing of information back and forth in a case like this?
I mean, it depends. It sounds like they formed a task force, but I could be wrong. If they have formed a task force, then theoretically, they are all actually sitting there together in one room and actually working together. So it's more than just simply like handing information right to them at certain times of the day. This would be dedicated agents and officers working together in close proximity, literally and figuratively, to solve the case.
And now with the report that's out about people who may have had access to Nancy Guthrie's home, maybe they worked on the pool, maybe they were a landscaper, someone who might have helped her with her health issues that she was having, and the report that they're taking DNA samples from them. And I saw some, you know, at least internet criticism, and there's been a lot of that why is this happening on day 10 as opposed to something that would have happened on day 1? What do you make of them taking samples now potentially?
I mean, I actually agree with the criticism a little bit, because again, as I said before, they should have been investigating all things simultaneously, right? Unless they knew for sure, right off the bat that those ransoms were real, which they said they didn't. They should have been doing everything simultaneously. Now, we also need to remember there's the sheer volume of stuff that they have to go through in every form. And so they may now just be getting to, okay, let's back this all up to the last 6 months and see who has been in and out of her home for extended periods of time doing work, whatever. And now let's get all of those interviews done. And while we're doing those interviews, also collect DNA so that we can match it with things that should or shouldn't be at the crime scene. So should it have occurred earlier? In my opinion, yeah. But I don't want to say I'm willing to give them a pass. I don't want to give anyone a pass. I just think that the sheer volume that they are having to go through is a lot, and they just may not have enough people to do it.
And another theory that's out there that I've seen just because of the proximity of Tucson and this community to the border is the idea that someone from the other side of the border would have been involved in, Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. And again, we don't know about the ransom notes and whether that was accurate. Is there any sign of this that, a cartel type organization, just based off of the way that they operate, that they could be involved in something like this?
Cartel doesn't completely make sense to me. Cartels, yes, they do ransoms and those kinds of things, but cartels tend to be quite brutal and quite showy with the violence that they inflict on people, and they don't seem to care necessarily. So what I would think, if Mexico is even involved, which I don't even know that it is, and they say they have not engaged with officials in Mexico, if they are even involved, it's more likely that someone here took her there rather than someone there coming here, simply because it just seems like that is the more probability. Obviously, it's only 60 miles away, so it's clearly accessible. It's just, I don't think it's as likely. You can't dismiss any theory, obviously, at all. I just think it's more likely that someone here took her there, if that even occurred.
So many business owners still run it with emails, spreadsheets, groups. That's why we started using Connecting. Everything's automated, customized. It's too simple.
And it works?
Oh, like you wouldn't believe it. My team puts in their availability, I click auto schedule, and boom, there it goes. No more Excel, no more phone calls, no more group chats. Oh. Perfect schedule, like that.
Damn, so all you gotta do is post it.
Yeah, my team loves that it's just one app, so they see their shifts, they can approve it, and I know it's covered.
But wait.
And I know that was kind of on the spot because I know that there's been like a million theories that are out there that have been thrown around. Just in your experience, because it goes back to, if you're going to kidnap someone, like an 84-year-old woman with health issues seems to be, something that you don't often see. I mean, how in your career have you ever seen something like this?
No, I've never have. Sadly, we see a lot of child kidnappings and things of that nature. People are kidnapped for so many different reasons, not just for ransom. We have to remember that, right? Okay. People are kidnapped for custodial and parental issues, right? People are kidnapped for, human and sex trafficking issues. People are kidnapped, just quick kidnappings. They're going to kidnap you. You go to an ATM, you come back.